Welcome back to the course. In this lesson we are going to place our logo inside this square. It's important for this project that we create our logo in a composition. This way we can animate that composition and the logo is easily replaceable. So you don't do the same animation all over again if you wanted to use a different logo. We can use it as an editable lower third. Create a new folder and call it Project. Place the composition we've been working on inside this folder. Now right-click New Composition. We'll call it Logo Project. And we'll drag this inside the folder too. This way I can tell it apart from these other compositions I have that belong to the original file. Right-click here and select Composition Settings. The size has to be 500 by 500 pixels. The rest of the values are the same as before, the frames per second and the duration. The only thing that's changed is the size. Inside this composition, you can drag the logo you want to animate. In this case, I'm going to put the letter T for Tutpet as my logo. I'm going to change the font to one called Doses. This font is free to download and you can find the link in the attachment section. If you can't see this panel, then just go to Window, Character and then it will appear. I'll also change the size of the text. I'll make it a lot bigger. And I'll make it bold. I'll also go to Align to center the letter. I'll make it a little bit bigger and align it again. Actually, I'll change it to extra bold. And once again, make sure it's aligned to the center. Okay, that's done. Now we need to go to our main composition, the lower third, and drag it to our logo project composition, so that we can place it inside of the square that we animated earlier. Press S so we can adjust the scale. It's right in the middle. Leave it at 49%. Now we need to animate the logo. So first we need to duplicate this logo square with Ctrl D. And we'll drag this to the top, above Logo Project. Remove the stroke. And we'll now try to add a fill. But as you can see, it won't let us because, if you remember, we deleted it when we made the square. So we need to go to the options and add a fill. You can choose whatever color you like. This won't be visible, so it doesn't really matter. Now we'll change the name of this to Logo Matte. And what we'll do is create an alpha matte in the Track Matte options. If you click down here, these options appear. We have a square that covers all of the logo project. Click here and select Alpha Matte. And now if you try and move the logo, see how it won't move out of the confines of the square, the area where the alpha matte is applied. Go to frame 14 of our animation and press P so position appears here. You can also find position in the transform options, but it's easier to just press P. Add a keyframe to the position at frame 14. Then go forwards to second 1, frame 5, and add another keyframe. Go back to the start and click here. Press Shift and drag it this way so it goes in a straight line. Select both keyframes, right-click, Keyframe Assistant, Easy Ease. Now go to the graph editor and adjust the speed just as we did for all the previous animations. Remember, it needs to be an edit speed graph, so as before, we want the animation to start off faster and gradually get slower. Press spacebar to take a look at the animation. Great! If we take a look at the finished animation, we see there's a slight rotation effect. So we're going to add that right now, back in our project. Create a keyframe in rotation and another one at the end. See how in the original file, here in the middle, the rotation has a variant, so we get this effect. If we go back to our project, we see that it's all the same. The rotation is at 0 at the start and also at the end. So at frame 20, we'll add a variant, +6. Spacebar to see how it looks. And you can see that this effect has worked. Let's right-click on this keyframe to Easy Ease. In the graph editor, you can see the curve of this keyframe. Before, it was linear. Look, that's how it looked before. But when we press F9 or right-click Keyframe Assistant Easy Ease, then our curve becomes softer, and this is also visible in the animation. So our logo is finished. We just need to add the title and the subtitle to the two rectangles. We'll carry on in the next lesson. I'll see you there.